Hello everyone, this is Sia on my YouTube channel and God's Hand in Life. I created this channel because I told you on TikTok that I wanted to do a YouTube channel about all my spiritual experiences in my life and also about my death experience. And all of it has to do with spiritual stuff and also about God and Jesus Christ. That I feel it's so important to share with you guys, especially now, especially all the biblical prophecies that are coming to pass nowadays. And the reason why also I want to share with you, because I know Jesus Christ wanted me to share this message with you, the message that he gave me to give to you guys, that how important it is to have a personal relationship with him, that he wanted me to share that with the rest of the world. And I decided to do a YouTube channel. I know a lot of people that I know in my life, my friends or family, asked me to do a blog about it and or do a YouTube channel about all my spiritual experiences and my death experience to the world, so that way people will know that God very much is alive and Jesus Christ is too, that they have never left us alone and we're never alone. And we may seem like we're alone, we have nobody with us, and that we feel like we should be with somebody at all times and all places. But there's one thing for sure, that Jesus Christ leaves us signs that he is with us at all times, in every situation that we are in our life pursuit, our path. He has definitely showed me. The topic that I wanted to talk to you about is basically my death experience. And so basically I call this my death experience and the reason why I came back. So, and there will be other topics that I will talk about on my other different YouTube videos that I'll be making. I hope that you will stay with me over time and subscribe to me and get to listen to all my spiritual experiences and my death experience. I have basically two death experiences I want to share with you that I felt like I had, or spiritual outer body experiences that he gave me, that there's no way that I should have been alive. I should have been still dead, because with the amount of stuff that I put in my system, that I try to commit suicide. I don't condone anybody to attempt or to commit suicide, because it's not the way. If you have any issues or going through PTSD or depression, I would advise you to get some help. Get some help through outreach programs or counseling or therapy to help what you're going through, or reach out to a friend or a neighbor or someone close to you if you contemplate on committing suicide. And I don't advise that or condone that. God has a purpose for you in life. He has shown me that he has a purpose for me in my life. So my death experience happened when I was going through a lot in my life, when my first husband, my ex-husband of 6 years that I had 3 kids with, he physically, mentally, verbally abused me and my kids and left bruises on us. And he wanted us to do drugs and alcohol all the time. We had this big argument and fight about him doing drugs and alcohol, and that's all he did was party with his friends and everything. And that's not the type of life I wanted for my family. The type of life I wanted for my family was a Christian-based family. But being that we both went through we're both from broken homes and went through bad situations in our childhood. I don't want to put the blame all on him or me. We both, takes two to tango, But also, when you're going through stuff, abuse, mental abuse or physical abuse or verbal abuse, you should get out of the situation you're in and seek help. I was going through that with him leaving bruises on us, and we got in this big, huge fight and argument one night, and it was out on our balcony of our mobile home. And I told him, I'm sick and tired of us, that you want us to do drugs and alcohol, because I did drugs and alcohol with you because you said that if we would do it, drugs and alcohol, we would stop fighting and we would get better, and that we would get closer together if I drank with you and had fun with you and your friends. And I told you, I'll prove it to you that we'll lose everything, and that, well, nothing good will come out of it. And we were fighting and arguing on the balcony about that. And I told him I didn't want to live like that anymore. It's not a good family-oriented home or example for our kids to have them see us drink and do drugs and alcohol in front of them, trying to hide it, not to have it around them in front of them. But as little kids, you can see what's going on and what's happening. I came from a broken home, and I see the arguments of my parents and my dad's drinking, and even though my dad tried to hide it, well, I basically went through the same thing with my husband, but that night he would say, well, if you want that kind of life, you live that kind of life yourself, and don't bother me or bug me. I just remember, he goes, I'm out of here. I don't want to fight and argue with you. And it was at nighttime. I remember that the sky was so clear and beautiful, so blue, and there was a full moon. It was so beautiful that the moon had a ring around it, like it had a rainbow around it. You know how you can see those moons that just glow and just there's an aura around it, Well, he left. He was drunk when he left. And I remember just crying when he left and standing on that balcony at the entrance to our mobile home house and cursing God and the moon and telling God, what is the purpose of life and what is the truth and what church is true, all those came to my mind, thinking, how do I get him to love me? How do I get him to stop hurting me and the kids or fighting with me? I can't do it. I tried everything and nothing's working, and I would go to say, F this, F that, God. I just want to die. I don't want to live anymore. I'm tired of not feeling loved or being cared about or being valued or understood, or him meeting me, my husband meeting me halfway. So I decided to try to take my life. I went inside the house of a mobile home and I downed the whole bottle of Advil and Tylenol. The whole bottle, what was left of it was a lot. It was practically almost a whole bottle because I really never used pain medication when I was sick or anything, or if I was in pain, because I don't like using medication. I try not to use any type of medication at all unless I'm severely hurting, but I downed both bottles, and on top of that I also started drinking alcohol, and I mixed marijuana and cocaine and methamphetamine in a joint, and I started to smoke it, and I did a Xanax, and there's other stuff that I tried to down, and I started to black out. Like I felt something tell me, oh, you done it to you this time, you're gonna really die and hit something and split your head open, hurry up and go to your room and get on your bed, So I ran, to my bedroom. I fell halfway on the bed and halfway on the floor. The reason why I know this is because my spirit was out of my body, and I could see that my spirit was standing where I was looking at my body, halfway on the bed, halfway on the floor. And I just realized I didn't feel any of the symptoms of alcohol or medication in my body or my system or my spirit. I felt new. I felt refreshed. I felt like I had a new spirit, or all that stuff was just gone, and I didn't feel medicated, And I realized that, where am I? What am I doing? And didn't quite understand what was going on. But throughout this death dream vision, whatever you call it, that I had, I felt like God gave me an experience to experience. And throughout this whole death vision dream or whatever, or death, I could telepathically talk to the people who were talking to me without their mouths moving. The doors would glide open when I barely tapped them. People were hovering fast and wearing white throughout this whole death experience. I remember just as that happened and looking at my body, and all of a sudden, in an instant, I was right in front of my mom. And my mom was gathering us 9 kids together. I'm number 10 in my family. I'm a twin. And she was all, okay, we're going to go see your grandma in that building. Let's go. And all of a sudden, we're all holding hands. And I lost my grip with my family. And they went so fast that I couldn't keep up with them to this big, spacious building. And when I got to the building, I tapped the doors and they would glide open. And it was like I was in a hurry to get in, but they stopped me at this front desk that I seen inside the building. And they said, you can't go through yet. And I go, why can't I go through? They go, you got to go through this book of rules. And I didn't know what that meant or understood what that mean. So in a panic, I kind of jumped up on the desktop and grabbed the book and started looking and opening the book and noticing all the words started disappearing away. And then all of a sudden, in a panic, I kind of like fell back like you do in Matrix, sideways, slowly, but in a fast way. And all of a sudden, I was in an instant in a waiting room waiting, and the 2 personages that were stopped me at the front desk when I came in the building, they were in the waiting room again, came to me in the waiting room and said, okay, he's ready for you. He's gonna take you where you need to go. There was a guy coming down these beautiful black iron rod stairs that I ever did see in my entire life. And as the person was coming down, hovering down fast, like floating fast down the stairs, I realized who it was. And it's like I knew him. We all knew him, It was Michael the Archangel. And they said, he's going to take you where you need to go. And then as he got down, he goes, there's only one way to go, through Jesus Christ to God, he said, pointing up. And he said, okay, let's go. And as he swishes, like flies back up real fast to the stairs, I said, wait, what if I don't find my way? Because he was going too fast. And he goes, don't worry, you'll find your way. So as I was going slowly up the stairs, I felt this sense of peace, love, but at the same time, eeriness, because I know I was somewhere where I wasn't supposed to be, but I didn't quite know where really at the time. And I was like realizing what's going on in my mind as I was going up the stairs. As I was going up the stairs, I can see up in the sky in a faraway distance, I could see clouds, lightning, and thunder. I didn't know what any of it meant. All I know is that as I kept looking further beyond the lightning and thunder, I felt like I was an hourglass. I only had so much time. And as I got to the top of the stairs and I looked over, the balcony and to the ground, I saw a graveyard with 3 headstones. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know if that indicated that I was halfway dead or halfway alive. But all I know is that I heard a voice call me and say, Sia. So as I turned around and the voice called my name, I saw this beautiful white door with gold trimming on them. As I walked slowly to it, I tapped the doors like I was going to open it, but it opened itself. And in this room is this big, spacious, immaculate oval room, so huge that it almost like it goes beyond, like far. It's just so beautiful. And in a faraway distance, I can see God and Jesus Christ on the right hand of God's throne sitting together. And just the amount of brightness and whiteness and glory that surrounded them and their aura was just so beautiful. So very, very loving, very caring, very immaculate. And I just remember that there was a lady that was talking to both of them as they stood up. And as she came to them and started talking to them, and I knew that they were talking to her because their mouths weren't moving, but I felt them telepathically talk to her and say, okay, we're giving you this much time, go talk to her. As she was coming closer and closer to me, I can hear God say this to me, Leah, all these churches in this world are mine. They are because in a time of need, when people need me in their life, people find these churches that talk about me in these churches, that find me, Jesus Christ. When they're going through sickness, sadness, depression, or whatso have you, when they need me because of their sadness and their tears, and they look towards me for comfort and love, they look for me for help, because all these churches talk about me. And the most important thing is me, Jesus Christ, is that personal relationship with me that they need. Is when they learn about me, study about me, they all know the truth that will comfort them, and that will take away all their fears and their depression and sadness and sorrows. Because I am with them. They're never alone. He shared that with me. And he wanted me to share that with you. And he told me to share that with the world. And I know that that's the most important thing he made clear to me. And as he told me that, the lady who was coming my way that they sent to tell me, okay, go tell her, we're giving you this much time, go talk to her. As she was coming, and when they said that as she was coming, I felt and knew as she came closer, it was my grandma. My grandma died when I was 4 years old. And she used to speak Spanish. I used to love that she speaks Spanish. She told me everything in Spanish. As she came close to me, I said, Grandma. I was like, Grandma, is that you? And she said, yes, mija, it's me. And she grabbed both of my shoulders with both of her hands. I will never forget this because it was almost like it was yesterday that it happened. It felt so very real. It felt so real. I will never deny what I felt. Feeling her presence and Jesus Christ and God's presence. It felt so wonderful. It felt so good. It felt so peaceful and loving. And she told me, don't worry, mija, you worry too much. Everything's gonna be okay. And in that instant, I grabbed her and hugged her, and it felt so real that I was hugging her, to the point that I was sitting up in my bed. I don't know when my husband came home, but he must have saw me halfway in the bed and halfway on the floor and didn't realize, because he was so drunk, that he put me up on the bed, laying down on my back, I think, because the way I was holding my grandma, like I was hugging her, I was sitting up in bed, crying profusely, waking up to that, and noticing and looking to my left side, realizing as I was sitting up holding, like I was still holding my grandma, my husband sat up and said, "What are you doing? Who are you holding? Why are you crying? Why are your hands like that up in the air?" I tell you, I don't know how, but it was the mercy of Christ that bring me back to life. With the amount of stuff that I had in my system, I should have been dead. I should have been resuscitated. But through the mercy of God, He set me back for a reason, because it wasn't my time. And to share the message with every single one of you that we shouldn't worry about life's situations, things that we go through. We should trust Him and have faith and believe that He'll make everything work out the way it's supposed to be. And that we should have a personal relationship with Him. That's the most important thing ever. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. I also had another spiritual out-of-body experience, like death experience, the next day, that I will share with you in my next YouTube video that I will do. And I'll post it too. So I hope you guys subscribe and to listen to all my spiritual experiences that I had. I'm a certified nurse assistant. I love what I do. I've had a lot of spiritual experiences with hospice care and with the residents, that some of them had came to me in dreams and told me stuff before they died. Or I had experiences where some already were dead and they came to me to share things with their loved ones that I want to share with you in my next videos, and all my other spiritual experiences throughout my life, that Jesus Christ has never left us alone, and He has never left you alone. He's all with us. If you're ever feeling down, sad, depressed, and feel like you want to end your life, don't do it. It's not worth it. Get some help. Contact people who can help you and be there for you, and talk to somebody that you trust what you're going through, because there's always a way out, and God can always help you and get you on the right path to make you feel better. And I promise you this, He will bless you more than you can ever imagine. I am grateful for my life. I'm grateful for what Jesus Christ and God has done in my life, for giving me all those spiritual experiences, and I'm ready to share more experiences with you guys. I'll message you guys and answer your comments when I can, and if I can. I may not answer all of you, because there might be a lot, but thank you for letting me share my death experience. I will share another one with you, coming out with the second one, and so on. Okay, and God bless you, and I hope you have a blessed day, and I'll be praying for you all. Thank you. Bye.